know what the show is about, or maybe you're joining us for the first time, this is that show where my sisters and I actually listen to your stories of frustrations when it comes to any relationships. And these stories are stories that have been sent by you for us to, go through and then talk about, and then at the end, we try to find a solution or, share some advice on how you can navigate, whatever you are going through in your relationship. So the sisters are here and the stories are here for us to delve into. But before we get into that, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. And you are welcome back. So the sisters are here and it's time for us to get into the story. But you can actually send your story, or if you know anyone that is going through any frustrations or problems that they're facing in any sort of relationship, be it spouse, mother, father, children, a workplace, whatever, any kind of problems that they're going through in any relationship, you can actually send your letters via sisterislive@gmail.com. sisterislive@gmail.com, and my sisters will give you the needed advice. So my sisters are already here, and I'm about to introduce them. Drum roll. Rosie! Hi, Rosie. Yeah. You look bright.
Yeah, today life is a fun fair for me. This is summer, isn't it?
Yeah, summer, isn't it? Well, it's always summer here.
Yeah, it's always summer here,
yeah.
Charlie. Allow me small.
Yes, yes. Oh, no. So you're right. Yeah, it's summer, isn't it? Okay, Sishope.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you feeling?
I'm very well, thank you.
Very
ladylike,
fancy
and excited and colorful.
Ooh. Sorry. Do that again.
Very fancy and excited and colorful.
Ooh. you need a whole series all to yourself.
Yes. I bring on the drama and everything in between, darling.
Sorry, we are sorry. Alicia,
Yeah.
you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I love your outfit.
Oh, you didn't say you love my outfit, but I actually do love it. So here we go. It's a colorful day in the studio today.
Okay, Felicia, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How was your weekend?
We want to talk about the week.
Yes.
The weather has been so hot.
It has.
And the light has been going off. We don't know whether we are in doomsday or whatever, but well, we are coping.
All right, and also we have here, of course, the only man that joins us in the conversations. But while he joins us, he actually makes us cocktails.
Yeah.
Then you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Bruce Seventy.
I'm happy to be here all the time.
Bruce
I know,
Almighty.
right? Oh, she's calling you Bruce Almighty. So, Bruce Almighty, what are we going to be having with our conversations today?
Okay, today, because we are summering, is there a word like that?
Yeah.
So we'll have a tropical whiskey.
That's right.
Tropical
Whiskey sour.
Did you say whiskey?
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a whole vibe.
The sisters are already excited about the sound of just whiskey.
Yeah.
That's to let you know the kind of sisters we have.
That's the biggest mouth.
Okay, so sisters, are we ready for
Yes.
our first story?
Yep.
Okay, so our first story, it starts with, Sisters, help me, please. Dear sisters, I'm a banker in one of the prestigious banks in the country. I'm a very calm 35-year-old man who is in a lovely relationship. My girlfriend thinks I'm less of a man because I'm very patient with her. She feels I'm too soft because I exercise a lot of self-control even when she provoked me to the core. She is very argumentative and arrogant, but I truly love her and want to spend the rest of my life with her. Last month, she did something that demanded that I leave her, but I didn't say a word. Seeing how bad she had treated me, she went round speaking to my friends to beg me on her behalf. Sisters, my girlfriend cheated on me with my own cousin, whom I grew up with. I just happened to chance in their phone conversation, which confirmed their relationship. Audrey, my girlfriend. She thought I would react to it, but I didn't. I love my peace, and I'm not ready to compromise on it. I love her very much, but I think I want to confront them both on this matter. Should I ask how it all happened and why my own cousin, or I should just leave them to their conscience? A part of me wants to let go, but the other part wants to find out the truth. Sisters, please advise me. Oh. It's very rare to find such sweet men.
Yeah.
Oh.
Someone
Okay, Felicia, I'm going to start with you.
Someone wants no get. Some
Yeah,
get,
no one.
We want, we get. Anyway, so that was just ease the tension, but this is really sad. You know, I feel like some women don't really know what they want in life. It's very dicey, because then it's like you just feel like this guy is available, he meets my emotional need, and yeah, he's my boyfriend. Not necessarily assessing and understanding what your need really is. Maybe she saw all the goodies about this guy, saw potential, and felt like he was the right guy for her, but he wasn't necessarily. So she just went in and is just disturbing this guy's peace of mind.
Right.
Like, it's not fair. I don't see how this can be fair, but I'm happy this is not a marriage. And
Right.
it's like a relationship, like let's say premarital relationship, and the guy can walk away.
It's still boyfriend and girlfriend
And
stage.
yeah, still boyfriend girlfriend stage. So it's something he can walk away from. And I also like that the guy was anesthesia, or was like what stated categorically that he cherishes his peace of mind. This means that there's no way he can stay in this kind of abusive relationship. This is a typical example of an abusive relationship. But usually when we talk of abusive relationship,
It's always the
we
other
only
way
associate
around.
it to
Beating.
beating, violence, physical. Emotional abuse is the worst form of abuse, from my point of view. Like, it's the worst. If I was to be him, and because of the way I am, I'll just walk away from this relationship and leave them to their guilt and their conscience. Usually, living situations like that in that state works for me. But considering that this man really cherishes his peace of mind, and I think closure might give him that, he should take time away from the situation. He could just give an excuse to say he needs time away and allow them to continue with whatever they are doing. And when he feels okay, he should confront them. Because AIDS is real. And other STIs are real too. You don't know who this your cousin is also sleeping with and coming to your girlfriend to sleep with. And you don't know what they are bringing to your bed. So you need to run. Run for your peace. Run for your mental health. And run for your physical well-being, your health. There's no way you can be calm about this. Some men too are too calm, honestly. There are some things that you need to man up. Oh yes, there are some things you need to man up. Manning up doesn't mean be aggressive. Manning up doesn't mean screaming.
Yeah.
Being open about your emotions is manning up.
Yeah.
You can't always allow people to sit on your happiness. You know, there are some people in this world that they were created to manipulate others. They were created to take advantage of others. That is how they are created. That is their character. And you can't change it. That is how their business. They feed on it. That is how they thrive. And if you find yourself around those people, please run. Flee. Flee, because there's no way you can change them. It won't get any better. It will just get worse. And the sad bit is they don't even see what they are doing to you. Because that is who they are. And we need to start differentiating who people are, and some behaviors that you can work on, you can tweak, you can adjust, you can compromise on. This is not something you can compromise on. And I don't want to even talk about that cousin of yours. I don't know why. It's sad that you don't choose family. Because if we had the chance to choose our family members, some family members, you just have to just cut them off, like find a sharp colors and just cut them off. But well, you can choose to have relationship with family. Yes, you can't choose family because you are related by blood, but you can choose the kind of relationship you have with those people because they are human. Yeah. So please stay away from this cousin. And if it will be good for you, you can tell some other cousin, an older cousin or a cousin you trust to warn him. Because if he's been able to do it to you, who knows? He can do it to another person in the family. And if you love people like these people, you don't want them to be treated the same way that you are. But my takeaway here and my advice for this young gentleman is flee for your mental health, flee for your emotional well-being, and flee for your physical health. Stay away from them.
Yeah.
And please let them know what they've done to you, because I think the closure will make things much easier for you. Yeah,
Right.
that's
right.
my take.
Sishope.
I think the wickedness in this world is really, sometimes I read certain things and I'm like, is the world coming to an end? But yes, my sister has made a very salient point on the fact that this is terrible. This man, first of all, needs to man up, like she's rightly said. Being a man is not just remaining calm and all that. Sometimes you need to speak up. There's an Akan proverb that says, "One kasauti bone." Sometimes you need to let people know your boundaries. It is important that when you're in a relationship, especially close relationship as such, people need to know where your non-negotiables are, where the line is drawn, where they can't go further beyond. People need to know when you're in a relationship with them. It's very necessary so that when you take certain decisions, when those lines have been crossed, everybody already knows from the word go why you have taken those decisions. And I think he has not done that in this relationship. So that's one thing he needs to look at. Whether he decides to move forward with this relationship or to backtrack, he still needs to do that with this girl and with any other girl he gets into any other relationship with. Now, secondly, for the girl, it's unfortunate that we all think, I think I used to do that when I was younger. You know, when you're younger, you want the yo-yo guy, the guy who is like the hip guy in school, like the one everybody wants.
The bad boys.
The bad boy.
Yeah.
But you grow up and you realize, no. Those are the worst people to really even have in your life. The calm boys are like the ish,
Yeah, they go.
you know. And now you mature and you realize. So I have a feeling this girl is not matured enough.
I think she's still young.
She's still very young. Because when you are young, then nothing about a calm guy is appealing to you. He's too soft. He's too calm. He doesn't, he's not, violent a little bit. A lot of people think all those things. And even some women who have not been brought up from good homes tend to think, if a man is abusive, then he's a man.
Yeah, then he loves me.
Yes, then he loves me. So when you're unlucky enough to find someone who is not matured or who does not know their self-worth and they are craving for that type of a man, then you don't fit into their bracket of the ideal man. So he needs to check all that. But like she rightly said, the best thing to do at this point, one is to confront them, let them know what they've done, see what the girl's reaction to your confrontation is going to be. Then you know whether she feels any remorse or not. Because again, if she's one of those people who's craving for those things, then something can be done. But if she feels no remorse whatsoever about this cheating incident, then you need to walk away. But I think she needs to be confronted. She needs to be given a chance to explain what exactly went on.
What's going on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rosie?
Okay, so one basic ingredient in every relationship is communication.
Exactly.
So I believe that in the man's quest to want his peace of mind, he doesn't want to be confrontational. Somebody may see it as, oh, it's good, but communication is needed.
Exactly.
Effective communication is needed. You can still keep your calm. Like, you see, sometimes people feel like being silent equates to maturity. Sometimes you can decide to speak your mind. It is how you speak your mind. Your choice of words, how you express how you feel, that is what makes you mature, not being quiet. Because, you see, negative emotions cannot be bottled up for so long. They can be bottled up for a time, but at some point, the pressure will be so much. It's just going to erupt. And that's when people are like, hey, this man, he was a very calm man. What happened? All of a sudden, he's become this, he's become that. Now, some of us, or most ladies, are looking for men who are this calm, who do not judge them before a trial, who would actually come to them and go like, oh, babes, I heard this, I heard that, what's up? Before they even jump to conclusion. Most men are ones who jump to conclusion. Boys, Charlie, oh, this is your girl. As you say, he then Kojo, they walk, Charlie. I just say, but now, so he finish him. In his mind, is registered. That's, oh, this guy is sleeping with this guy, this girlfriend of mine. The next thing you know, it's over. We are broken up, and that's the end. So you lady, the lady is lucky to have had a man who loves her so much so that he will do anything, including keeping quiet, for the sake of the relationship. And I don't know why some women don't appreciate such men. Such men, you should treat them like eggs. You should treat them so well, because if you don't, when the time comes, the repercussions are dire. Now, for the cousin that she's sleeping with, sometimes when I hear stories like this, I won't be surprised if the girl and the cousin have been at it even before the girl started a relationship with the boyfriend. But maybe the guy was not really wanting to stay with the girl proper. The boy has a toxic relationship with the girl, and along the line met the cousin likes her, and because the cousin said, Charlie, if my bro one day me are no born, you go feed day plus some. And then like Momo is kicking in and they are doing things in the background, and this poor man thinking that I have a fantastic lady is because sometimes, yes, there are times when you start dating a guy, then you go and sleep with the sister or the cousin or the brother or something. But this thing, for some reason, jumps at me as the girl probably has a history with the cousin. And because this guy is a mild guy, it could even be a ploy by the cousin that, oh, my cousin, he's very, very calm. Charlie, if you do this, he go feel marry you. You know what I mean? You can marry and settle down with, because that's what you're looking for. And then they are still doing their kiki Romeo on the side. Me, I'll tell the gentleman that, look, it's good you want your peace, but you can't want the peace at the expense of your mental health, at the expense of your emotional stability, and like you rightly said, at the expense of your physical, because you see, sometimes you know what it feels like when you're approaching the woman. You can picture the woman having been in bed with your cousin. Okay. Now, you want to talk to the woman, and the woman is rather gaslighting you, making you feel like you are the problem. And then you rather keep quiet and move on. And then mentally, you are going through torture. And you claim that the best way to maintain a relationship is just to keep quiet for the sake of peace. There's a problem with keeping quiet for the sake of peace. There should be communication. The key here is how you communicate, when you communicate, and the choice of words in communication. So, my gentleman, you sent in the message. So, I don't want to bash the woman or talk to the woman, because you're the one who sent in the message. So what I'll say is that, look, gentleman, man up. Learn how to talk to your girlfriend. Let your girlfriend know what you are feeling, what your expectations are. She cannot be the only one who comes to the table with expectations. You also have expectations. So let the woman know your expectations, what you want from the relationship, and where you want the relationship to head. And let her know all those things. Just dialogue, and dialogue properly, and I'm sure you should be fine. But there should be communication. This is not communication, and this is the problem in the relationship.
Right. Okay. Chris, do you have anything to add to this?
I want to advise you to even continue, because I think off the show, I was telling you about an experience that a friend also has. Similar situation, and it hurts. It hurts when a guy gives all his time to a woman, and then the woman is not appreciating it. And for the woman to even go to an extent of having an affair with my family. It means when we even get married, we even be doing it our marital home. I mean, it's not possible.
Right.
C'est pas possible. So please, my brother,
Exit.
if you are looking at me, Otilo.
To the hills.
Yeah, but still let them know what they've done before you
have to,
Yes. They need to know.
Communication.
Yes. The knowing is also important, because then if they are human beings with conscience, they will not go into other relationships doing the same thing to other people.
Yeah, exactly.
And your family member who is your cousin would also know what he's done to you, so that if you start avoiding him in future, he knows exactly where he stands with you.
And for the man himself, for closure.
Yeah.
See,
Closure.
Exactly.
sometimes you don't want a situation where you think, maybe if I just confronted
Exactly.
them. Maybe you know sometimes somebody does something to you, and after 2 hours you're like, I should have done this.
Yeah.
Even you have an argument with somebody,
Yeah.
there's some points that you
You
forgot to
should
bring.
have said this,
I should have said this. I should have said this. So I think that for your own closure too, you see, the communication is important.
Yes.
Communicating doesn't mean that by force you should stay in.
Yes.
But you see, don't let the woman go away thinking, say,
Maybe
he has made a fool out of you.
Yeah.
Stand your grounds. Let the woman know that, look, listen, you are missing some gem in your life, because I was ready to do this for you, but this is below the point. You did A, B, C, D, E. I want us to have a future together. I love you and I still do love you. I need to take some time to get you out of my system. But certainly, this version of you cannot be my wife.
Truth. Right. I think I will agree with that. And that's it for the first story. I will come back with my submission. But it's time for us to take a quick break. Then when we come back, we will be getting into our second story.
Magic pepper and onion. A delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yin da da da. So pa mediane rabe. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kunu abefi.
Gentistia magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Let's live it up and party and have cracking good fun. When it comes to edutainment, here's TV's number one.
Is everybody ready to go?
We've got the zaniest characters to transport you away. The party is cracking, so why not come play? You're gonna love it. We've got so many channels and a ton of new shows, like Disney and Nickelodeon, where anything goes. So live it up with DSTV. We bring the fun. You know we're number one.
Mouth-watering and guaranteed to make you go, ungalicious. Try this pig trotter stew recipe. First, place a pot on heat and add in pig feet, cloves, star anise, and alligator pepper. Add water and boil till pork is tender. Now blend garlic, pepper, tomatoes, and onions with water. It's now time to place a pan on heat. Add oil, tomato paste, and onions to the pan. Saute for 2 minutes and add the blended mix. Add water and cook it for 10 minutes. Season it with Onga 3 mix, some white pepper, bay leaf. Stir, cover, and allow it to cook. Add in the pig feet and cook everything for 15 minutes more. Next up, add Onga stew tablet. Add some chopped onions and green pepper. Stir and allow it to cook. Add some paposhito. Stir, cover, and allow it to cook. And enjoy your ungalicious pig trotter stew with rice, yam, and cocoyam.
Welcome back. It's still Sister, and we've seen our first story. We've talked about it. And now it's time for us to get into our second story. But remember, you can actually join the conversation on social media with the hashtag Sister. Hashtag Sister on Twitter and on Facebook. And you can join the conversation. So, sisters, we have a second story. And our second story goes like this. Dear sisters, my fiancé is a mommy's boy. I didn't have a problem with it, but now I think it's necessary that I get worried. My fiancé's mom complains about everything I do, including the food I cook for her son. She will throw my food away and cook something else for him because she claims my food tastes bad. Wow. I respect her so much that I don't want to disrespect her in any way. Last week, she threw a lot of light soup I had prepared for my fiancé, and that really got me. Doesn't she want her son to get married? Or what exactly is the issue with me? I have done everything possible to get her to like me and appreciate everything and anything I do, but to no avail. I'm worried she might pollute my fiancé's mind about me. I love Pakwesi, and I'm not willing to lose him to anyone. What should I do about my situation? Should I ask for a meeting with my fiancé's mother, or should I speak to my fiancé about the situation? I am confused and worried. I can't lose my one and only man that I have been with for 1.5 years. Sisters, help me. What should I do? Mommy's boy, mommy's problem.
The only person she has an issue with is her fiancé. If she cannot get through to her fiancé, first of all, the story is inconclusive. In that, where does she live with her fiancé? Where is this woman coming into the equation? Does she live with them as well in the same house? Now, if your fiancé is not saying anything about this, then this is not somebody you want to really...
No, she said, should she tell the fiancé? But the fiancé that
doesn't
even know. He said, should I tell him?
Should I ask for a meeting with my fiancé's mother, or should I speak to my fiancé about this situation?
But the fiancé, the point of having a man around you is for him to also protect you. It's part of him being a man. That's his role as a man. And these are some of the people he should be protecting you against. And if he's not doing that, and you have also not communicated what is going on to him at this point, then I think you've not done the basic work for us to even come in. Because if he doesn't know, then the onus is lying on you to discuss with him what exactly his mother is doing. Then now, if he doesn't defend you, then there is a problem. But at this point, the picture is as though he is unaware of what is happening.
Actually, how is he unaware?
Exactly.
And how long has this been going on for?
And how long has this been going on for? And if you call him a mommy's boy, then it means he knows certain things. Or he kowtows to certain things that his mother does that he shouldn't be kowtowing to. Therefore, there are already signs that this is not going to end well. These are the situations that end in tears. You know?
Yeah, so basically you can see the red flag.
Exactly. These are pure red flags. These are like blooming tomato red right there.
Like my lips.
Exactly, like Rosie's lips. And I think the opportunity is ripe and perfect for her to run. But then again, she's talking about love. She should be prepared if she's going forward, that these are some of the issues she's going to face moving forward. And these are some of the issues that if the man gets an accident, if the man falls sick, you're on your own, darling.
All right, so before I let any of the ladies come, I actually heard you, agreeing to what she said. But right now you're a man. And let's talk about men being, mommy's boys. What do you think about this story in conjunction with him being a mommy's boy?
Well, first of all, I would say the guy's mom is insecure.
Yes.
In the sense that he's in fear that he'll lose his son.
Yeah.
Note that definitely one day your son will grow and leave your home. So try and support the lady who is in this picture. And if the guy is also saying that he doesn't know, I think there's, like you're saying,
a question mark.
Yes, because my girlfriend prepares soup for me in the house. I see her preparing the soup. Then the next moment the soup is not in that pot, and it's a different soup. I mean, you should ask questions.
Yeah.
So the guy should man up,
Yeah.
and then try and do the lady some good.
Right.
To play the devil's advocate, maybe truly the soup may not be exactly, but who knows?
You learn.
You learn exactly. The mother should be willing to
yes, to
teach
help.
this person.
Yeah.
But then again, you know, as a parent, sometimes I can understand how it feels to watch. I can understand those women who behave like that, but again, women need to be matured about some of these things.
No, I
because
cannot understand them.
a lot of women
If
are
your
very,
father did not allow you, would you have had your
exactly.
children?
A lot of women are
I
very
understand.
hang on. A lot of women are very attached to their sons, especially, and I think especially when the man, exactly, or when he's the only son, or when there has not been a man in the house and she's been the only caretaker of this boy for the longest time. Sometimes they tend to become very overprotective. Sometimes we need to look at issues from, you know, a holistic point of view. You know, what attitude has this girl shown? Because look, then again, I'm playing the devil's advocate, so I may go around a bit in circles. Then again, this woman is a very pivotal person in the man's life. So you cannot go around her in any way but to be nice to her.
I think so.
Women need to understand that also. When
but
you
she
go
said-
into a
no, no,
man's
no,
life,
She has been nice. Oh,
Yes.
she's tried.
yes, and they are the people you cannot do anything.
anything
You
about,
cannot kill. You cannot do anything. So you need to keep being nice, and your problem is the man. But for that woman, you need to
be
forever
nice.
be nice.
Yeah.
So her dying day, you have to be nice.
And you know, for this story it's I don't know, it hits me in the sense that I'm a woman, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also a woman that has just one son.
Yes.
So and I'm thinking here, how would I feel if I was the lady? And also I'm thinking, how would I feel if I'm the
The
mother?
mother.
I'm
Exactly.
just-
That's why
You know,
I played
I
it
think-
in two different ways.
I think
Yes.
this is when I always say women can sometimes be our own enemies.
Thank you.
It's so difficult. I find it very difficult when I hear mothers-in-laws making the lives of their incoming or
daughter-in-law,
intimate daughter-in-laws or their daughter. I don't get it. Why would you do that to a fellow woman?
Like I always, for me, let me add to what you're just saying, right? I think these women are usually very lonely people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why
They spend their whole life with the
and that's why I
child.
always advise women, yes, you want to be the one that looks good and taking care of the children and not doing everything.
But live your
Like,
life.
live your life.
Yeah.
Like, I believe in living your life.
Yeah.
Maybe you were divorced.
Yeah.
Find another person.
Find another.
Find something that makes you happy. You understand?
You know, you're talking about being lonely. Why don't you see the positive side of this? Now you could have two instead of one.
Right.
So before you are getting your comfort from your son, now he's brought another lovely woman into your lives.
Sometimes
Why
lovely.
don't you embrace this person? You know, you say sometimes lovely. Until you open up to someone, you can never tell whether they are lovely or not. And lovely is relative. Yes. We sometimes have this perceptive, preformed perception about people, and it blocks, it blurs our vision from seeing truly who they are. So we say, oh, she's not lovely. Why? Because you've probably
You don't
not
know
gone
them.
close to her. It could be just one thing. Recently, I was listening to Ben, and I think he was talking about things you could change and things you cannot change. He was talking about, I think, hiring people, and I think he was talking about attitude and something like that. Yeah. So when you
Like one is what you can do, and
one
what
you can change,
do.
one you cannot.
Yeah, one you can change.
Usually, when we are dealing with people,
Aptitude and
we
attitude.
struggle to find the balance or the difference between things we can change about people and things we cannot. You can't change people's characteristics. You can't tell me to be as tall as Christabel, like if I'm short. That is something you have to learn to compromise or deal with. So if I'm home with you and we need to pick something from the top, guy, we need to step on a chair or a table to pick it up. You can't say my daughter-in-law is not tall, so whatever. You can't change that. However, if I'm rude, you can teach me, you can nurture me. People build up or pick certain attitude or behavior because of their environment.
Right.
The society they grew up in, the home they grew up in. So there are things you could change. I'll use myself as a typical example. So I was dating this guy and I was very quick to react. Anything like
Tiger.
he kept telling me, so he used to say jokingly, hey, what's it on China check? on China check. So anytime I got upset, he's like, hey, madam, you know what check? Checking me, I'm angry. And he kept prompting me, it was his way of prompting me. I got to a point that I wasn't always getting upset about everything because I became aware of what I was doing. And this was not something I did because I enjoyed doing it. It's because probably like I grew up to all this loud noise, screaming, stop. So it was just my way.
So you thought it was normal?
Yeah, voicing out my frustration. But he told me, no, you don't always have to scream out your frustration. Sometimes just take a deep breath and tell people how you feel. There's no ways that you need to even react. Sometimes just sit back and analyze or be objective about the thing. You even realize that you didn't even need to react. So you see, you try to teach people. You try to nurture them. So as the mother, I think she shouldn't feel like, oh, she's taking my son away. Try and find a way to bring your daughter around. This food you are talking about, some people don't like salt. So the food might be good, but it just lacks a little bit of salt.
Right.
So this way you eat the food and next time, sweetie, can we add just a pinch of salt to this? It's then, you start getting her to understand your taste bud or how you perceive food to be good. So I feel like these are things we can always navigate.
Then again,
But you see, I think
she's
I haven't
cooking for
spoken yet.
her.
I haven't spoken yet.
Does she live in the house?
You know what?
If she
Let
does,
Rosie
then she'll-
speak here.
Let's listen to
You see, number one, all what she said, there's this phrase or this sentence I've been making on the show that whatever you fear to lose, eventually you will lose.
you will lose.
When you fear, because she said she cannot lose, she cannot see herself, she cannot. The moment you fear to do something, you will lose it. Because the fear of losing the thing drives you to do unreasonable compromises. And then one day you wake up one morning and say, no. That is if you don't lose your sanity before then. We're going to tell you, this is not for me. And then, papa, you lose it, you go. Or the thing would even leave you. Now, you describe him as a mama's boy. Even if you haven't told him, I'm sure his mother has told him that kind of food that woman has been cooking for you. And he hasn't said anything about it. If he's a mama's boy, the mother will tell him that that girl that you brought to the house has prepared something. Hey, I prepared something better. Make sure you don't eat her food. And prepare her own and come and serve you. So at the end of the day, you see, the man himself is still taking breast milk. He is not grown.
Yeah.
He is still taking breast milk. And I believe that you as a woman, you need to get to this, because the way she's talking, I don't sense any rudeness between her and the mother-in-law. Because she cooks, she throws it away, they don't argue. She just keeps cooking, hoping that one day it would actually stay on the table.
As per the story.
As per the story, it will stay on the table. So I don't sense any form of aberration between her and the mother-in-law. But I just see, like you rightly said, a woman who is insecure about being alone and thinks that another woman is come to enjoy her son. Look, that meme was going, you suckle at the breast for 9 months. He's going to suckle at another breast for life. And there are certain services as a mother you can't perform for this man. And these are needed bedroom, intimate, romantic services. You can't perform that service for this man. There are so many things you can, like, even the mother loves a child. I mean, there's a limit to what you can do. You do to a point and somebody else takes over and carries on.
Yeah.
So I think that all this, like Sicho said, is resting on the man.
Yes.
When you bring a woman into your life, you have to justify to the people you care about.
Thank you.
Why this woman is,
Your choice.
must be in your life.
Should.
So there are times when you bring a man, people are questioning about this man, what does he do? Or this woman, what does she do? No, our family people, we like people who are fair. We like people who are dark. We like people who are tall. We like people who do this. You are supposed to step in. We like Ewe people, we like Ghana people, we like Akam people. You have to step in and say, Mommy, this woman is different.
And
there are good stories about the woman that you use these stories to sell to your mother that listen, I've dated several girls, I've dated 1 or 2 girls, but this lady stands tall because she did this, she did that, she did that, and for which reason this is my choice. Mommy, I know that when you look at her, she doesn't look all that, but if you allow yourself to love her, In the beginning, and who is that? Is she come to? And as much as possible, bring you and her and your mother into the same space.
Thank you.
And let your mom know that, look, mommy, I'm not leaving you. I'm still with you.
Yes.
My girlfriend actually adores you and would want to be in your space. Truth. So not like every day, be a morning up, but once in a while, bring your wife, your girlfriend along, spend some time with your mother so that that jinx can be broken. And if the lady has a game on, gradually this woman will warm up to her. There are families where the women come and then the in-laws are like, no, this girl like we don't like girls who are like this, girls from this tribe, the way she talks. Hey, look at the car she drives, she be arrogant, she be this. But they get to know the lady and they realize that this lady is down to earth. She's nice, she's responsible, she's actually homely, she can do this. And most importantly, the lady even respects the in-laws. Sometimes some people feel like once the lady gets the man, that'll be the end of it. Don't be visiting her. Don't be paying attention to her. So, my dear, I think that conversation you say you haven't had with your boyfriend yet, you need to have that conversation with your boyfriend. Sit down with him and let him know that this is what has been going on. I don't want you to assume, even though I know that the mother may be telling him, I don't want you to assume that he knows. Because assumption makes an of you and me. Makes an ass of you and me. That's what assumption is. So don't assume that he knows. Speak to him. Let him know that you love him very much and you have no problem with him, but you've realized that increasingly, anytime you cook, your mother tends to discard your food and cook her own food for you. You don't know why. But in as much as you love his mother, that action makes you feel less of a woman yourself. If there's something about my cooking that you don't like, you can let me know. Let me know. So that I can, you see, sometimes food, look, there are times when my husband will come and say, Charlie, this jollof is nice, it's nice. I'll eat, I'm like, what is so... Then there are sometimes too, you cook something like, Charlie, this thing, Charlie, when he comes, and my husband, he doesn't hide it, so he'll come and say, oh, this one, Rosie, this one 3/10. Then there are times I do some part thing. Hey, I like this thing. You come and wake up at 10 p.m., do the same thing for me. And you're like, so taste is relative.
Exactly.
So the mother may think she is doing the best, but the woman too may be doing the best. And food is usually an acquired taste. There are certain meals that somebody like, oh, this is good food. Me, I can't even bring myself to taste it. Because mentally, I can't even imagine putting that food in my mouth. I eat chicken head. I can't imagine ingesting chicken head. Somebody to say that's a delicacy in their home because that's how they were brought up. So at the end of the day, I'm thinking that, look, when you want to marry a woman, to mature, is to learn how to enjoy your wife's food, gradually make loving comments about how you need X more or Y more, compliment her the days that she gets it absolutely right, and the days that she doesn't get it right, because you compliment her when she gets it right, and you tell her, well, this is maybe a bit of salt, maybe a little bit of pepper, oh, me, I don't like pepper too much, or something, you realize that she would also take the criticism okay, because it's balanced. So I think that your problem, like Sicho said, is with the man, but until you tell him what the problem is, and please, this statement that I don't want to lose him, after 1.5 years, you don't want to lose him, I beg you, don't be afraid to lose somebody. When you are afraid to lose somebody, you will lose the person.
You'll compromise on
Be
yourself.
willing to work on the relationship, but don't be afraid to lose it. When it gets to a point where it's too much for you to take, feel free to walk away. Sometimes, until you walk away, you will not experience something better.
Exactly. And to reiterate a certain points that she said, which is crucial to all our relationships in this world, is I always tell people that if anybody can look me in the face and talk badly about any of the people in my life, then I have a problem, not them. It's like, for example, if you can look at me and talk badly about my son, then the problem is me. Because I have given you room to do that.
To talk
and
about
so whether it's friendship or relationship or parenting or whatever, we create the space for people to treat the people in our lives the way they treat them.
Can you repeat it again?
If anybody can have the nerve to talk about any of the people in my life badly, then it's my fault, because it means I have given them room and space to say the things they can say. So as long as nobody can talk about your son badly to you in your face, it means nobody else should be able to talk about your boyfriend, your friends, anybody badly in your face. The moment that is done, you should question yourself as a person. Am I a good friend?
Why are
Am
they
I a
telling
good
you
partner?
this?
Why do they feel comfortable to tell me this? And that's why I'm saying the onus lie on this man to be the right person to correct all these. Like Rosie rightly said, he is the person who is supposed to bring them together and say all the right things. And in truth, when you truly want someone and you desperately want them in your life, nothing stops you from painting them in a way that everybody will fall in love with them. Everybody will see how your soul lights up when their names are mentioned, when they are around and everything. And people will automatically share the love you have for them with them.
Yes.
So the man is not doing his work.
Or because of the love they have for you,
yes, they will extend
that
it
love
exactly to the
that you
person.
love.
So the man has a lot of work to do, but this girl also has a lot of communication to do with the man.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be a sitting.
Yes.
It should be a process.
Exactly.
You can't wake up one day and tell your mom all the good things about your girlfriend.
Yes.
You should be conscious about
how you
projecting
do it.
her.
Yes.
Oh, today I'm in her house. She's cooking this for me. Oh, do you know I'ma pick me up from work
Yes.
today?
Yes.
And you kind of indirectly fix them, get them fixated.
You always think somebody. I'm a paper.
But
why should be? Why
Yes.
should buy your driver?
But when when all that is done and this man doesn't change, please run away.
Yes.
Please run away. Because look, like she rightly said, in as much as you should work on things, you should also be ready to walk away from things that are not serving you. Because mental health can easily be broken. Easily.
Right. Okay, sisters, I've heard everything that was said, but I want to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you for actually contributing to these stories, because it's actually important that we talk about them. There are other people that might be affected or in the same situation but can't send their letters, but this is actually a point of contact for them. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. And viewers, I hope you enjoyed every submission by the sisters, and of course with from Bruce Services. And we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, I will be giving my final submission. All right?
Magic pepper and onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenyi na da da da. So pa mediane no abin. Come on, Gino, do your magic. And papa no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Let's live it up and party and have cracking good fun. When it comes to entertainment, DSTV's #1.
Is everybody ready to go?
We've got the zaniest characters to transport you away. The party is cracking, so why not come play? You're gonna love it. We've got so many channels and a ton of new shows, like Disney and Nickelodeon, where anything goes. So live it up with DSTV. We bring the fun. You know we're #1.
Vibrant and rich in taste, this Ongalicious chicken sauce is a game changer. Let's get cooking. Place chopped chicken breast in a bowl. Add some depth of flavor with Onga chicken. Then add chili powder, minced garlic, and chopped parsley. Mix well to incorporate all the ingredients and set aside to marinate. In a small bowl, add in a tablespoon of corn flour and a little water. Mix and set aside. Place a pan on heat. Add in oil, add chopped potatoes, and fry till translucent. Add the marinated chicken, stir, cover, and allow to cook. After 5 minutes, open and stir. Cover and allow to cook for another 3 minutes. Add a half cup of water and cook till potatoes are almost tender. Add chopped onions, mixed bell peppers, and shaved carrots. Stir. Add a tablespoon of soy sauce, the corn flour mix, and stir. Season with salt and cover to cook. This sauce is so vibrant and tasty. Serve over rice and enjoy.
Welcome back, viewers. If you're just joining us, this is Sister, where we actually help you release that frustration or stress that you've been facing in any relationships. Of course, the sisters were here and we went through 2 stories, and they, get their submissions and their advice of what they feel of the situation that the writers were going through. So now it's time for us to check out some messages from the 2 stories, and we have some messages here. One from Asantiwa. She said, tell your fiancé about the situation. His mother is being a diva. So this obviously goes to the second story, where this woman is having issues with her fiancé's mother. Her fiancé's mother, taking control of everything, even her kitchen, and not even acting nice to her. So she thinks her fiancé is a mommy's boy, and it's not doing anything about the situation. I'm wondering, should I talk to her? Should I talk to him? And this message is actually directed to him. And Kofi, this message comes from Kofi, and he says, the gentleman has to man up and stand his grounds. And obviously this one is to the first story. And the first story we actually saw was, it was sent by this young man, and the young man says he's very quiet. He's a very quiet type, but his girlfriend, abuses the fact that he's a quiet person and thinks that he cannot man up or speak out because he is a quiet person. And, during his quietness in this relationship, his girlfriend actually started a relationship with his own cousin. And now he's wondering, should I speak to them or should I just walk out of the relationship? Because obviously, although I love her, I don't think I can be in this relationship. But the question here is, should I actually confront them or just walk away from everything? So Kofi says, the gentleman needs to man up and stand his grounds in his relationship. And Amma says, this mother-in-law will be a very difficult woman to deal with. And Kojo says, run for your life, girl. Talking to the girl dealing with her mother-in-law. That's like, it's different from a man to say that. Usually it's women that say, it's usually women that give that advice, you should run for your life, to other women. But this is coming from a guy telling this lady, run for your life. Akoto says this is not a good way to deal with situations like this. And I'm sure he's talking about the first story. And we have another message here. I cannot deal with a soon-to-be mother-in-law like this woman. My lady, advise yourself and maintain your peace. And lastly, back to the first story. Leave your cousin and your girlfriend to go on and face the music. Karma is still existing. So we've seen all the messages directed to the stories. And I hope those that send these stories are actually watching and taking notes or taking the advice, each one seriously. Because I mean, these advice are very, very, very serious. So whatever works for you, you should take it into consideration. That's why this show is actually here. So now, for me, let's get to the first story. The first story about this quiet guy and, not being able to speak, or his girlfriend taking advantage of his quietness to do whatever she can do. I think I will, I agree with what Rosie said in the whole submission, that communication is very important. I mean, he might be a quiet guy. I actually like that about him. I'm not saying I like quiet people, but for the fact that he is prioritizing his peace is something that we have started learning now, but he's already doing it. he's prioritizing his peace and trying to keep his mental health in check. I think that's very important to do. So I really appreciate that fact about him. But I also think it's important to speak out. Although you want to prioritize your peace, it's important to speak out and also, you know, let the next person understand what you are going through, because sometimes silence really doesn't mean anything. Sometimes they say silence is golden, but you know, silence sometimes really doesn't mean anything. How would the next person know what you're going through, especially in a relationship? In a romantic relationship that you expect to move, you know, further than just the boyfriend stage to, you know, probably marriage and have kids and, you know, have a family together forever and everything that they say in marriage. Yeah, I think it's important to have that talking factor in you, that communication factor in you. You know, people just enter relationships without thinking, okay, that they need to communicate, but communication is a very important part of a relationship, and that's what I think that you're missing. Although you might be quiet and maybe seen as weak, it's not weakness, you know, it's just because you do not communicate. So it's important for you to communicate. And yes, it's also important for you to let your girlfriend and your cousin know that, okay, I am leaving you guys to your fate, but this is why I'm leaving. Just know that I know that you're having things, something behind my back. And yeah, so that's it for that story. And for the second story about, you know, this lady worried about the fiance's mom's attitude towards her. I think you need to deal with your fiance. Your fiance needs to step in for you and step up for you and speak for you. And I don't mean in a rude way, but you also need to communicate. In fact, the whole stories for today have to deal about, all around communication. It's important for you to communicate with your fiancé and let him know what's going on and how you feel about it and how it affects you. And if it affects you, it's probably going to affect your relationship. And if he thinks your relationship is important to you both, especially him, he's probably going to fix it. But if he doesn't do anything about it, run, sis, run. Okay, so that's my submission, and that's my whole thoughts for the whole story. Okay, so thank you so much. Thank you so much for the messages. And yes, that is my submission. But remember, we actually shared a story, or we actually shared someone's story on this platform where she contacted a hacker to hack her partner's phone. And then so many of you have been sending us messages to send you the hacker's number. Remember, it's someone's story and we do not have the hacker's number. So please desist in sending us those kind of messages for us to provide you the hacker's number. That is someone else's experience that she shared on this platform. And you can also share your experience on this platform, so the sisters will give you the best advice. And of course, the only way to do it is send it via email, sisterislive@gmail.com, sisterislive@gmail.com, and we will give you the needed advice you have in your problem that you're facing in your relationship. Thank you so much for joining us this week on the show. We really appreciate it, because you are the main MVPs, because without you, this show wouldn't be possible. So see you next week, same time. Bye-bye.
Germany is a women's football hotbed, and in the last decade, one team's been practically untouchable in the land of brats and beers.
Wolfsburg are the cream of the crop. They've got 2 Champions League titles to their name, have won a record 9 German Cups, and have topped the Bundesliga table 7 of the last 10 seasons.
Ja, der VfL Wolfsburg der Frauen ist extrem hungrig, erfolgshungrig vor allem. Das zeigen die letzten Jahre schon und das wird auch in der Zukunft so sein.
Wolfsburg haven't just raked in silverware by the boatload, they also reshaped women's football in Germany and set the tone for the years to follow.
Wolfsburg were way ahead of the curve when it came to men's clubs taking the women's game seriously, paving the way for today's more hyped-up sides like Chelsea and Barcelona.
Wenn mir vor ein paar Jahren jemand gesagt hätte, du spielst im Camp Nou oder du spielst hier in der großen Volkswagen Arena, dann hätte ich das wahrscheinlich nicht für möglich gehalten.
Packed stadiums and heaps of silverware, how did Wolfsburg build one of the most dynamic dynasties in football? And can they keep it up now that the competition has had time to study their blueprint? With just 125,000 residents, Wolfsburg's quaint for a Champions League capital. The skyline is dominated by the VW factory and nearly half the city works for the car maker.